Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I am Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and
how you can single-handedly destroy your own nation. And we're going to get to that in a bit.
Leave him alone. We'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
Leave him alone for now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so guys, hit us up on Twitter at Echo U Podcast. And you also can email us at echoundergroundpodcast@gmail.com. And so today's podcast will be our first of the new year, and it's about Aquaman. Finally, we have a recent Aquaman movie, because apparently there was an old one, but never saw it. But short synopsis: Aquaman is like, nah, son, I just want to drink and save people on the random. I just want to be a hero. I don't want to be a king. And Mira's like, no, you got to be a king because your brother's trash. And it leads to an adventure where you fight different monsters, and he gets his trident, and shit goes down. I think I covered everything.
Oh, well, credits are. We're done here. Bye, guys.
There will be spoilers on this podcast, just letting you guys know. So if you haven't seen the movie, stop here, watch it, and come back and see if you agree with our opinions. Or if you don't even care about being spoiled or you've seen the movie, stay here and disagree with Michael because he's wrong.
Yep, go ahead.
So I'm gonna get into my rating. I'm gonna give this movie, I'm gonna give it an A. Here's why. It had a lot to do, and yes, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it had a lot to do in such a small amount of time. You had to introduce all the kingdoms, show Atlantis, reveal his suit, do his relationship with Mira, introduce Orm, Black Panther.
Black Panther?
Sorry, whatever.
Hey, yo, #1 movie, yes. Represent.
Black Manta, whatever, nigga.
Black Panther would rip Black Man to the pieces. Black Man to the pieces. He can't
even handle Aquaman. So whatever. Aquaman would fuck him up.
How? His suit can reflect energy. How is he gonna do anything about that?
Well, can Wakandan weapons?
Vibranium versus Atlantean. That's a good question.
We don't know the answer to that question.
That's a good question.
Because only Atlantean stuff can actually hurt Aquaman. Aquaman can take a hit from Superman. I bet Black Panther can't. Anyway, that's a different podcast for a different time. We're going back to Aquaman. So what I was saying, it had a lot to do. Introduce Dr. Shin as well. So it had a lot to cover in a short amount of time and do it in an organized way. And I think it does. It is a roller coaster, though. You don't really get a lot of time to breathe. Because when you think you're breathing, something explodes, or another ride, or you're introduced to another thing. So you got to be aware. The only thing is, there were a few bad acting moments, but it didn't bother me. Especially teenage Aquaman. Ooh, that's the first time I was like, cringe. You need some acting classes, bro. But you look like Jason Momoa. And you were able, like, your scene wasn't that long. So I was like, you're not going to get a minus from me about it. But I think the movie did a great job of turning the hero Aquaman into King Arthur. Right. So I did like that one. And it is after Justice League, so still part of the DCU. But, he had some stuff to do. And Batman was missing. I don't know. Birds of Prey.
Right.
2019. What do you think?
If we're lucky. Yeah, the movie, I'll also give it an A, easy. Wow. I mean, it didn't go in the mold of, I was telling Shanique, it didn't go in the mold of, like, the stereotype that DC is all about, like, broody, dark movies where, like, you just talk low and your mom's name is Martha and all this other stuff. Like, it broke the mold a little bit.
Scene. I actually like that scene.
I think it's in credit to the fact that this isn't a dark and broody character.
Yeah.
Which, if you think about it that way, then all the other movies kind of make sense. Like, they didn't bother me that much. It's just a stereotype I'm talking about. It's kind of fun. It's fun to make fun of it. But this one is like Aquaman, Jason Momoa. He did a good job carrying Aquaman. I feel like, everything from the beginning of the movie where Black Manta was introduced and his mom was introduced to his dad and the story from there. Like, it does hop around a little bit, but not so much where, you can't keep track of what's going on. So it's kind of cool in that respect. That and the action in it and the underwater stuff looks pretty good. People have their own opinions of like the CGI in this movie, but I was like, I kind of dig it.
That CGI is pretty good for the budget.
Someone said it looked like underwater Jurassic Park, and I was like, you know what, you're damn right, it kind of does in certain parts. But
it's supposed to, though.
Yeah, which is cool. And I'm like, yo, what else do you expect? You got to do a thing underwater, and there's no underwater cities that they can film in right now.
Whoever said too much CGI, kiss my ass. Because how else are they gonna film this movie?
Yeah.
We just got magic horses. And
all right, guys, let's start mounting these lasers on sharks like in what's the name, Austin Powers. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But yeah, other than that, it was cool. I do like every action scene in this movie. I do like how badass they made Aquaman. They did not go with like a cheesy Aquaman like people have been making fun of. This actually makes Aquaman look cool, and that's one of my biggest takeaways from this movie.
You know what's crazy? Aquaman hasn't been cheesy in like 10 years.
I know,
10 plus years.
I know, but the stigma stuck with him though. Yeah,
they think of the old one, but
the stigma still stuck with him, and he does do the talk to fish thing, and I'm like, he only does like one time where it's like a little funny with the whale. But we'll get to that in a bit anyways. But yeah, it's like that's the only time it was even like, kind of cheesy. But it was supposed to be cheesy. The character's actually cheesy.
Yeah. The movie aimed to be cheesy, and it was. And it's killing it. Mm-hmm. It made already more than Justice League. Asians love it. Mm-hmm. America trying to hate. But, but they still seeing it. And I'm excited. Also, for Birds of Prey, they start filming it. Mm-hmm. Okay. In February. So they already got the scripts. The cast is already there. They're just about to go into it.
Okay.
And Black Mass is the villain. So he's played by what? The dude that plays Obi-Wan in the prequels?
Wow, really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Right? Ewan McGregor or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
He's Black Mass.
Wow.
So I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, man.
I'm surprised I remember his name because I don't even like Star Wars like that. But I did remember he was Obi-Wan.
My guy. That's crazy to me.
So, and they also, I think they cast Zaz as well, which is another.
Victor Zaz, okay.
Yeah, he's in there too. So it's gonna be a hard R. But it's an R-rated movie, so I'm ready.
Is a jerk. And I'm looking for because you can't really. I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna use DC villains, especially like Batman-related villains, to the fullest. It doesn't necessarily have to be rated R. However, my definite preference would be, let them drop some F-bombs. Let them show some gore. It needs to be
for the gore mostly. That's why.
I'm assuming so. Yeah, I'm just listing some things that make it rated R. But yeah, go ham. That's how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm. So Aquaman, we open up, and it's the scene on the ship. So a bunch of pirates are like, you know what? I'm gonna rob this ship. We later find out that they're doing it for King Orm so they can use the ship and fake an attack. But they rob the ship. Black Manta and his father. I don't know Black Manta's real name. I don't know if it was said, but I don't know. His father, they're robbing it. Black Manta's like, I'm gonna kill a person for no reason. Just because you there. They kill everyone in the ship. It's very violent start, actually, to the movie. And then the tone shifts. But what I like about the introduction of Black Manta, there was some little bad dialogue in here, like "damn you." I didn't like that. I didn't like that dialogue at all.
I'm okay with it. Okay.
Maybe it's the way that the actor said it. I think it was execution that I probably didn't like, but I was like, okay. It gave Black Manta a perfect motive to want to kill Aquaman. Aquaman was grimy. He's like, well, you're a fucking asshole, so I'm gonna leave you to die.
I am not the 1980s Aquaman. I'll fucking leave you to die.
Right? I'm the Aquaman that will eventually get the hook.
Right. Okay. Yeah, right, exactly. And we all know he won't take no shit. So yeah.
No, he's mean and he don't like anyone who dwells on the surface at all.
Right.
So he's like, fuck you, I'm leaving you to die. Also, it showed, first of all, I didn't know that human weapons couldn't pierce Atlantean skin. Mm-hmm. So that was actually cool seeing that. Like, he ate the grenade. Or something.
He didn't eat it. I mean, he got hit.
Say that.
Okay, like he didn't die pretty much.
Yeah, he just took it to the face and then was like, whatever.
He rose up and was like, ow. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm pretty sure he could have handled it, but he's probably also drunk or some shit, so.
Yeah. And then, like, he broke Black Manta's, like, thing, the little sword thing. Mm-hmm. And he just fucked him up. Like, he made a bitch out of Black Manta. I felt bad in that moment. I was like, I get your motive. He was kind of an ass to you, but you were killing people just recently, so I don't feel that bad.
I mean, my thing is, because we all know it's Black Manta, he actually showed that, a human is trying to, like, take on an Atlantean right now. And didn't get killed immediately. So the fact that he even survived that whole debacle, obviously because he did, like, save his dad, and he was like, yo, fuck y'all, I'm out of here now. But it's like, you know what? He got, like, you can tell that, as far as martial arts combat, he can keep up with Aquaman. It's just, like, pure strength for strength. It's like, that's not happening. Your guns and your knives ain't gonna do shit to me.
Exactly.
So they made him look strong. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and like, he was throwing around like a rag doll. He kind of made Black Manta look like a bitch, but that's not his fault though, because he was human. Humans can't be Atlanteans. Mm-hmm. You gotta be like, you either have to be a meta-human, an alien, or God to basically take on Atlantean. Mm-hmm. So the rest of the Justice League. Or Cyborg, right? Because I guess cyborgs are not meta-humans.
Well, he's kind of alien now, because his technology's alien.
Yeah, but...
There's like 2% of his face left, so...
Did they replace his organs too?
Well, his organs are there, sure, but like, I'm assuming it's like only the lungs and the heart or some shit like that. Like, listen, his body ain't really there no more, okay?
Okay, yeah. That's another thing. I kind of wish they didn't like take up most of his body. Because I remember he was kind of like a mix. Mm-hmm. Now he's just like mostly none. Right. Like,
but hey. I got my face.
That's basically
a part of my face, actually.
Like a half.
Right.
Like a fourth or something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that was cool. So now we got a motive for Black Manta. We later find out that he's working with Orm. So, Aquaman is secretly saving people. Oh, before I get into that. Before that scene, we were introduced to... We saw how Aquaman's father and mother met. She just washed up to sea. Because she was like, I ain't gonna marry that piece of shit of a man. Mm-hmm. And so she ran and something went wrong. And she washed up to sea and she was injured. And his father took him in. And she saw a dog for the first time. And
ate a goldfish.
Yeah. Okay. Look, Thomas. I know that she's pretty. But as soon as she ate that goldfish, I would have been like...
That didn't throw up no red flags, Tom? Like, what's up here, dog?
And he was just cool with it. He was like, you know what? I got this not human person in my house eating goldfish. Making jokes about not eating the dog.
And we ain't answering no questions about the giant ass spikes she carrying around. Like, what the hell?
No, we're just going to sleep with her and make Arthur.
Which, here's my thing about that. That clearly lasted a couple, maybe over like a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3. Because Arthur got like a decent sized toddler pretty much.
He was 3 years old, yeah.
About 3 years old, right. And the Atlanteans have not found her since. Like, she's literally on the beach.
That's true. She didn't really go nowhere. And you know what? I think it was they thought she was dead.
I guess.
That's maybe. The only week.
Yeah,
I feel like they thought she was dead. Because if she would have stayed out there, she would have been dead.
Well, my thing is then how did they even end up finding her by random? Like, one day just like came to the door and they're like, oh, here you are.
Maybe Arthur being born.
But how? What does that do for them though?
Maybe they have you know.
Cause I know later on there's like a tracker introduced into the movie, but I doubt she had a tracker on her since it took them so long to attack. So.
No, I think like him being born and like maybe because I feel like maybe they went to the beach or something and maybe someone saw them from under the water. You know, I feel like someone saw them and snitched. I feel like that's how that happened. First of all. Here, and then the first fight scene of the movie. Because this is before the submarine. Queen Alana. She busts ass. But she kicks a lot of ass.
She was holding it down.
Father almost got chopped because he not looking around. He didn't hide. Like, I don't know what he was doing.
Well, he threw the trident to her, so.
Yeah, that's fine. But then you hide. Because
yeah, well, you don't want to leave this woman alone, man. This man's out here like,
he can't fight, though.
I mean, listen, he's on adrenaline right now, yo. He ain't worried about himself. He worried about his girl.
But he didn't even throw a punch. He just stood in the way.
He knew better. This man,
he knew better.
He wanted to keep just enough distance to make sure she ain't die. All right, like he was willing to sacrifice his life if he had to.
Look, let me say you right now.
Listen, man, he was holding it down.
No, I'll give him props for being able to 1, hide his son. And 2, throw the trident. But after that, he was in the way.
Yeah.
Had she not seen the nigga behind her, he would have been dead. And I think he had Arthur in his hand, didn't he?
No, he hid them in the kitchen behind some stuff.
Okay, so he was just standing there. She just threw the trident past the person. First of all, that shot was like a Fast and Furious shot.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty cool.
I actually liked the round shot, and I felt it like that's the first adrenaline rush in the movie, and then it kind of keeps going from there. Because then you get the submarine thing, and then Aquaman, and like at this point you know he's Aquaman because people are calling him Aquaman. The guys in the bar, you think it's that scene from Throne of Atlantis where they want to just start shit, but they're like, oh, I want a selfie.
Right.
Because they know better. Because here's the thing. I do have a couple questions tied in Justice League. So at this point, people know Superman's alive. Mm-hmm. Do they know that they fought Superman? Or just they fought Steppenwolf?
I think they know that they fought Steppenwolf because I think they talked about it at one point in the movie.
Yeah, I know that part.
I don't think, like... You're talking about the public or Atlantis?
Public.
I don't know.
I don't think everyone in Atlantis know that he fought Steppenwolf though. Because I think only Mira was there.
Right.
And maybe a couple guards. But I think only like royalty know, but like the civilians, no. They don't know anything. But yeah, I don't know if I think the public knows about Justice League. Like they know they exist. I don't know if they're officially the Justice League, but I think unofficially that's what they're probably called. And then everyone knows about Aquaman. So he's already Aquaman at this point. He's already a hero. One person asked how he got the armor from Justice League, and I'm pretty sure Mira gave it to him because he asked for some stuff before he left.
Too. Yeah.
Then comes Mira. Mira's like, because first of all, his dad can outdrink him, which that's kind of crazy. Just putting it that way. Then Mira's like, you need to come to Atlantis and be king because Orm is tripping. Now, I saw another criticism about, like, this looks like they don't know each other. To me, it's not that. It's like, yeah, to be honest, they don't know each other. Like, obviously they're not doing the bubble thing. I thought of the bubble thing as, like, no one can hear what we're talking about.
Right.
Not really like you had to talk under a bubble. But, then there was, so the Mirror and Arthur meet again scene. She's like, I need help. He's like, nah. I just want to do my hero shit and not worry about being king. Plus, y'all killed my mom. So, fuck y'all dudes. That's fine. Then, the next part is he's driving his father home and Orm is like, you know what? I'm going to get my attack on right now. Because y'all need to know. I thought it was kind of like fucked up but funny at the same time. I actually wasn't mad at Orm at this part where he dumped all the garbage back onto the land. Mm-hmm. That was gross. That showed how bad
we know it's messed up though, because I think it was a little messed up only because, like, obviously someone could have died, or probably people probably did die if anything, because his dad probably would have been dead had
Mira not stepped in.
Yeah, Mira and Aquaman not stepped in. So it's like, yo, all right, well, that's messed up. It's cool that he did that because at that point he's kind of justified in his actions. So I'm like, okay, all right, yo, I get it. Y'all been polluting, but y'all been keeping yourself secret, so you can't really, like, talk about it. So I get that.
Yeah, and then that happens. And the reason he did that, he got permission to do that because the setup with Black Manta. Because he got the submarine and he set up a fake attack. Mm-hmm. King Nereus was like, I know this shit's fake, but I want to go to war too. Right. So I'm going to go along with it.
Right.
And let him. And what I also thought was cool, they explained what Ocean Master meant.
Right. Like you just let the general leader, pretty much, of all, like, seven
kingdoms.
That's what.
Even though, like, one, which I do want to talk about King Atlan, who fucked over everyone except two nations. First off, he got greedy. He committed. Well, you know what? Maybe it's kind of weird because, like, Atlantis was above ground, which I love the history lesson. Mm-hmm. Atlantis was above ground. Then he was like, ooh, I can do some crazy shit with my trident. Mm-hmm. And blew up everything, sank it. Atlantis was fine. Atlanteans were fine. King Nereus and his people got, like, little hydropowers and stuff. But they could breathe on land and under the water. Some of the people, depending on the bloodline, became the trench.
Yeah.
Some of them became crab people. Mm-hmm. One just dried the fuck out and became part of the Sierra Desert. And then one is just missing.
What the mermaids too? The fish people, should I say?
Yeah, but, like, Oh yeah, them.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they?
Fish people. The fishmen.
Oh yeah. The mermaids.
Yeah.
Which is played by the nigga from Blood Diamond. He don't last too long. Spoiler.
Was that him? The king?
Yeah.
He's black?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Wow, good job, CGI. I couldn't see that shit.
First of all, his voice is exactly the same. And you know what's funny? He's Shazam, too. From, like, the movie.
Wow.
Say my name.
Wow.
So, he everywhere. He's the wizard, and he's the fish king. He dead in this one.
Wow.
I don't know if he's going to survive Shazam, but he could... There's one comic... Isn't there a comic where Superman beats the shit out of him for giving Billy the powers?
The wizard?
Yeah, he attacks the wizard for giving him the powers.
Maybe there is, but I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, he asked Superman's like, you gave a kid power? Boom.
That's not something Superman would do. Jerk. Fucking jerk.
Hey, don't be talking about that.
Jerk.
You would not say that to his face.
Listen, I can handle him.
Every time you say that, I laugh. All right.
I'll punch a hole right through his chest. Man, I steal my foot.
All right, let's leave the delusion of grandeur over here.
Get these hands over here.
Yeah, okay. So going back to King Atlan fuck over everyone. Which now we have the 7 kingdoms. We know what they are. Only 4 of them can talk English, and 3 of them, only 2 of them look human.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that little history lesson. I like that scene. What did you think of the intro to the 7 kingdoms and stuff?
No, I thought it was cool little world building that they did there, because honestly I did not know what the actual history of Atlantis was. Didn't know about the first king and all that. Didn't know about the power the trident had, because apparently it was they tried to use it as they already had infinite energy or something like that.
Yeah.
And they were way beyond actual technology of the world in their kingdom alone, kind of like a Wakanda type thing. Mm-hmm. But the king wanted more, and then when he tried this little experiment, he fucked everything up like Sneak just said, and I was like, okay, I get that. And he did feel guilty about it, so he pretty much traveled to the center of the earth somehow where there's dinosaurs and shit.
Yep.
We're gonna get to that part in a bit, and it's he essentially exiled himself. And I was like, okay, that's kind of a cool thing. And now only the worthy king can pick up the sword, which I think is a cool parallel to Arthur. Sorry, the trident.
Come on, man.
I was thinking Sword in the Stone because his name is Arthur, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I visually that was amazing. Mm-hmm. That's one thing this movie has: visuals on top of visuals on top of visuals.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Then basically at this point, what happens after this? Is this the part where they go to Atlantis? Yes. So they go to Atlantis, and we see Atlantis for the first time. So beautiful. I want to visit, but not stay there.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me how you see you see how they get around their cars. They got all the security. I like that all the weapons run on water, which is pretty cool. They got soldiers. They got all this stuff, and I'm like, all right, I feel you. Mira, the diplomat, so she's able to get through. She sneaks a meeting basically with what's his name, Volko.
Yeah.
And Volko's is what you call it, Queen Atlanta, her trusted advisor, and he secretly trained Arthur behind Orm's back for years, which is cool to know that he was in touch with his Atlantean roots. Which, Lord have mercy, that teenage Arthur.
Yeah, we were talking about him already.
He's bad. That's the worst acting I've seen in this movie, in a lot of movies actually. Especially they killed my mom. That scene was cringy. It was cringy. Only reason I'm okay with it is because how short it was. Had he had to keep going, he was trying for emotion that I don't think he understood what they meant. And I was just like, all right, kid Arthur, baby, 3-year-old Arthur, 10-year-old Arthur, and then, Aquaman himself.
Jason, yeah.
Fine. Teenage Arthur, no. He can go all the way home, and I don't want to see him again. He looked the part, but nothing. They did cast him, through the years correctly, so I like that part. But yeah. So you meet them, and they're saying, hey, you need to go on this adventure, find a trident. Because you're not going to take on Orm without the trident. And you're also not going to get the people's respect. You could probably beat Orm, but they won't respect you unless you have the trident. Mm-hmm. Because you have been living on land, and they don't know who you are.
Right.
So I'm like, cool. Next part of the movie, but he gets caught.
Yeah.
What do you think of this action scene?
I think any action scene involving like the Atlantean guards or whatever, like the guys in the white armor or the guys in the red armor, the guys in the red one, they're like the badasses. Like you don't fuck with those guys. Yeah. Like they're pretty serious. There are a couple comical moments later on in the movie when the guy couldn't breathe air, but it's fun. This scene right here in particular was pretty good. And also another big credit to Jason. Like he just handled the scenes pretty well. Like he made the scenes look heavy hitting. Like when he falls through something, you felt like he just fell through someone. He hit you. And like you see a guy fly through like wood and pieces of like a broken down ship, you're like, damn, this man can actually hold down his action scenes. Which, considering how Justice League went.
How big that dude is? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that considering how Justice League went, I'm like, of course he's gonna look good doing it. But he showed that he can hold down like his own action scenes in his own movie. Like he's not just one of those guest guys who's there for like nostalgic reasons and holding down action scenes here and there. Like he can carry everything. So yeah. These red guys were there. He even used like their weapons. I think he had like the sword at one point.
The gun.
The gun at one. Well, he had the actual saber at one point.
Oh yeah, he did. He did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And he looked pretty cool. Like he has all the stances down that he had trained from Volko. And I was like, oh, this guy's holding it down. I mean, he inevitably lost, which leads into another really good fight scene too. But yeah, I think that scene right there was really good.
Yep. Then that happens, and so we meet Orm for the first time. Played by Patrick Wilson, a.k.a. Night Owl from Watchmen. And that guy from Insidious, which I haven't really watched.
Before we go any further, I just want to say that they did a really good job with people's hair underwater.
Yo, it looked like they were underwater.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, this is not bad. I think you're actually like acting underwater right now. So they did a good job, yo.
One thing I've never felt
Mira's hair, because Mira had like a lot of red hair that floating around. So I think they did a really good job with Mira's hair.
And like for me, everyone looked natural underwater. Mm-hmm. It looked like they were actually underwater. Like you could see them floating and stuff like that. It was very realistic, so I did like that. I wonder what Atlantean food looks like. But neither here or there, because we never saw them eat
goldfish. You saw. She's thinking about it like, well, that's not what I meant.
That's not at all what I meant. And I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, we meet Orm for the first time, and he's an ass. He kind of like tricks Arthur into like fighting. Mm-hmm. And Arthur almost got him too. He was like, he almost dragged them people across there just to snap Orm's neck. And Mira's like, oh, this guy's so fucking dumb. But oh yeah, before I forget, Volko gives him like this key, so they have to go to one of the kingdoms, mm-hmm. the deserted kingdom. They used to make the weapons and stuff, mm-hmm. to like do the key thing. And Arthur's fighting him too soon. Which I kind of wish they didn't allow him to fight him to the end, but I guess it was a way for them to meet. So the only good thing about them fighting early was they had that scene where he's like, I wanted to meet my little brother, I wanted to actually meet you, and then I meet you and you're an asshole. I like that scene.
I just like the fact that Arthur had his mom's trident and that Orm had his dad's trident. I thought that was pretty cool too, because I was like, "Oh, this is like a sibling like rivalry kind of thing going on here with just the weapons alone."
Yeah, a lot of people compared it to Eric Killmonger and Black Panther first fight, but I got it in the sense that they were siblings, not siblings. They were cousins, right?
No, they're brothers, half brothers, same mom, different dads.
No.
We talking about Killmonger or
Killmonger and Black Panther?
Okay, no, I'm talking about Aquaman. That's why you didn't even catch that. I'm talking about Aquaman, lady.
I know that.
Then why you say no?
Because if you heard the first part of the question, I was literally talking about Black Panther.
Oh yes, they're cousins. Okay, fine, they're cousins.
Man, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Rude. And you're rude. Mm-hmm. And you're mean. You're not right. He understands. But yeah. Besides, like, the relative thing, I don't see the similarities in the sense that, like, I personally didn't need this scene. Like, I would have took this part out. I didn't want them to fight this early, in my personal opinion. I wanted them to get away. Basically, what I would have done, I would have had them get away, and then have them, fight. I would have had them like figure out like Mira doing some shit. But then like if they didn't fight, he wouldn't be able to put the tracking device on her. So it served its purpose, even though he could have did that earlier and she not know. So I wouldn't have had them fight early. That's just my personal opinion. Arthur loses. It's a good fight though. I like the CGI and the water effect. Not CGI, the slow motion on the water effect. Yo, Orm is flexible. Cause the way he been when the guy like swiped at him. But I knew he was gonna lose, so I wasn't really surprised. And Mira saved his ass in there. And she basically gets in super trouble. And now they're on the run for the trident. And Orm is like plotting shit. Because now he has Black Manta say, hey, I'll give you some like actual like, you know, Atlantean gear because you can't take him with your normal gear. And then we see the Black Manta suit. So what did you think of the reveal of the Black Manta suit?
I thought that was cool. They had like a little mini montage of him, like, you know, pimping it out from the Atlantean technology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, they saw this part where he's trying to make like a helmet for it, and the helmet clearly wasn't big enough to handle the strain of the energy coming out the eye lasers or whatever. Long ass sentence aside, it was pretty cool because, you know,
comic accurate.
I don't know his actual origins in the comics, so I can't really speak on that, to be honest.
No, I meant the suit.
Oh, the suit. Oh, spot on. What? Like it's 99% Atlantean, except for the head, pretty much. I think like
no, the head is too.
No, but like his modded head, pretty much.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I think he had to.
Yeah, he made it big. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he made it bigger so so he wouldn't like fry his brain on the inside.
Yeah.
Cause when he had the one that was regular size, he actually had like a comical moment where he almost fried himself, and I was like, wow, they gave Black Manta a funny moment. It was like a little chuckle you get out of it, but it was kind of cool. So yeah, I like seeing a little transformation there. I just like knowing the fact that, oh shit, Black Manta about to be in this bitch, and he's already testing out his, like, you know, his signature eye lasers. And so this stuff actually will do damage to Aquaman, as we find out as well. Now, before we get to that, did you already say anything about the map? Putting the water in it, whatever?
No.
In the desert? Okay.
It was in the trailer, so I wasn't going to mention it. But
okay, sure.
No, if you want to talk about it, go.
I mean, no, I just want to mention that, you know, while they're in the desert, they jump off a plane because they can survive that kind of fall, apparently.
Yo, she went face first into the dirt.
My thing about that is, if she has never been that high before, does she not know how gravity works? Because you're going to fall really hard. Granted, she's not in any pain. Cause
I don't think she knows.
I'd assume she didn't.
Because she's been underwater her whole life.
But yes, you know, and also they said something about, like, you know, we develop differently because, like, we're under, like, high pressure water deep down in the ocean. So, like, you know, we can survive a lot. Apparently, you can survive like a 5,000 foot fall from the air from an airplane too. So I guess you got that going for them too. But yeah, they survived that, and they found like a random ass hole in the desert. On top of that, how else the hell were they gonna find this freaking hole? I don't know. But like they just accidentally stumbled into it.
They didn't accidentally. The thing was pointing to it.
So when the first one fell, did they know that they were there?
Mira did. He was just being stupid.
Man,
Arthur was being dumb. She had it, and he was like, "Oh, your thing ain't doing anything. We're never gonna find anything." And then he walked into it because he didn't listen to her. So I don't feel bad for him.
So yeah, that pretty much leads into the whole trailer part where they're like, "Oh, you just sweat to like power the key and get this like
message where it's saying, get the trident. Only the true king can do it. Blah blah blah.
Can see or something like that.
Some
right.
Then we go to Italy, and that's when they're like getting the bottle that they got from the actual like tomb or what the hell it is, and they're just basically trying to find the next part. They find the next part, and then they're attacked. Oh, and Mira and Arthur have like, you know, little cute moments, like when she ate the roses. I thought that scene was cute. That's probably the cutest scene they had of them. And the Black Manta fight. Now I'm gonna let Michael take. What is your take on the Black Manta and Arthur fight?
Well, while that's going on, they also have like Mira running away from the Red Atlantean guards, which is also like a pretty neat chase scene. Because at least,
and they're smart.
Yeah, like, these guys, they're not meant to be like fodder, like, you know, the demons from Apocalypse or whatever the hell they're called. I forgot, the parademons, should I say?
Yeah.
Like, those guys are fodder. You just kill them and they're gone. These guys are actually smart. It takes work to kill one. One of them had their hand chopped off and was still fighting. So these guys are like the SWAT team of Atlantis.
Yep,
They're the fucking Navy SEALs of Atlantis, which is saying a lot. So, and then the Black Manta fight and Aquaman. I thought this went out pretty well because the only real advantage that Black Manta had was the fact that he could fly with his little jet boots, and he has lasers that can actually hurt Arthur. So that was pretty cool. Arthur wasn't using his trident to fight because it got broken during the fight with Orm earlier on. Mm-hmm. And speaking of which, that the scene where he broke that too, by the way, was pretty cool. So it's just one of them things that said, like, you know, Arthur, he's kind of weak right now. We need some more story time to build him up and make him into a king and come back and look good for y'all. So there was that going on. But yeah, the Black Manta fight, first of all, Black Manta looked cool. The lasers and the effects look cool. Like when you saw it in the trailer where he blew up like a bell, that part was as cool as it looked. I can't even exaggerate that about him anymore. But yeah, you know, Aquaman, he got a couple good hits in.
He got a lot of good hits.
Yeah, he got decent amount of hits in, especially after he realized what he's getting himself into. Like, yo, this guy is using Atlantean technology to hurt me. But I'm pretty sure it's that guy whose dad I let die.
Well, because Black Manta let you know, like,
yeah.
yo, it's me.
Yeah, so
he's like, oh, you fucking pirate.
This is where a little bit of regret comes into his eye, especially after the fight. But I'm gonna get to that in a second. But yeah, like it's kind of crazy how I'm gonna skip to the end right here. But like, it's kind of crazy how Aquaman won that fight because he sort of used, like, I forgot what they call it, I think like bolos or something like that. It's like a chain with two weights on the end that he just threw and like wrapped around his neck. Now I'm thinking they're gonna go full on Mortal Kombat on us and like have his head taken off. And I was like,
we need a sequel.
I mean, you don't need Black Manta for the sequel to be nice, which they did go for. But I was like, yo, when I saw him falling off that cliff with the wrap around his neck, I thought the weights were gonna catch on something and his head was gonna get pulled clean off. Yeah. So I was like, damn. And there's like a whole slash in his face too, showing that, yo, you almost caught an L. And
he did catch an L.
I mean, well, he did, but he ain't like catch an L as far as like death. And it's crazy too, because this is the last time we see Black Manta until credits. So
yeah,
he's out of the story for now until the end of the actual story right now. So yeah, that's a wrap.
So yeah, he got even more motivation to like whoop that dude's ass. Mm-hmm. Mira, we also learned something cool about her. Her powers is not just water; it's liquid.
Liquid in general, right?
So I thought that means she has less limitations than I thought she has, and she looks pretty cool doing it. She's smart and she's capable, and basically they escape at this point. Also, they do emphasize that like these Atlanteans can't breathe. Sorry, I was trying not to do that like into the mic, but these Atlanteans that are chasing them can't breathe like on land, so they have water, and they also show that the weapons were water too. So after this, we're heading off basically to the trench at this point, and they're like, all right, we got to do something about this. And then that's when we have the heart to heart, you know, man, I shouldn't have killed that dude, I shouldn't let him die, because now I got this enemy who's annoying me. I should do better. I'm a blunt
paraphrasing, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't write the script. I don't remember what they said, but Mira's like, "You're a hero, yada yada. Cheer me up. Let me play a flute." And then they get a chat about the trench.
Yeah, it's kind of going to like a pseudo horror movie type area right here, which is kind of cool. Cause I thought the trench looked kind of cool as well. In the books, they're a little less zombie looking, but they are monster looking. Like.
They don't look like zombies to me.
They're like water zombies to me. I don't know. Water zombies, like there's something called like
face? They don't even got eyes.
Yeah, but they have like weird fleshy skin and sharp ass teeth and shit. And they're kind of like blackish red almost if you saw them in light, which they're barely ever in light in this movie, by the way.
Because they don't like it.
Well, yeah, which is why, like, you know, that's kind of their thing. Like, they actually use that to their advantage later on, too, with the flares.
I have a question. Can flares survive underwater?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, certain flares anyway. Not like I don't think road flares, but I think certain flares. Yeah, they're temporary, but they can be used underwater. Remember we watched something meters below with the sharks.
Oh, 47 meters.
Remember they used the flare there. Granted, it was in a dream sequence when she was high, but it's still possible.
Okay. So they go to the trench, and they basically use the flares to outrun the trench. Mm-hmm. And that's a pretty cool scene. I like the introduction of the trench and the CGI when they're going down. It's like a risk from the comics, so I love that. They do that, and they end up in the Missing Kingdom. And that's where we see Queen Alanda again. And she was smart. She dressed like a trench.
Mm-hmm.
So they wouldn't bother her. So I did like that part. We see her and...
Dinosaurs.
Oh, I keep forgetting about the dinosaurs. Everyone hearts on the dinosaurs. I could clearly... I could care less.
How, Sway?
It looked like Land Before Time. But in...
How, Sway?
I just don't care about the dinosaurs. But they're in the Missing Kingdom. Queen Alana is there. And she gets a little reunion with Arthur. It's a sweet moment. Oh, she don't really look like his mom, but oh. And then
it's crazy how fast they get right back to business after like, oh yeah, I'm your mom by the way. Lol, hug. Okay, let's go get the soundtrack now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he looked.
They're like, all right,
like, you don't got time.
Great to finally meet you again, son. Remember, like 30 odd years ago, but you kind of got to go pick up that spiky fork over there.
Yeah. So they were like, yeah, you gotta go in there. I tried to get it from the Kraken, but nah, it didn't work out for me.
They had a name. It's like some kind of like legendary monster that Orm talked about earlier, but I'm forgetting what the actual name of it was.
That's what it's called, the Kraken.
No, there was another name that Orm mentioned earlier in the movie. It wasn't the Kraken.
I think he's making up stuff.
I'm not. I'm fine. We'll put it on Twitter about who's right or wrong about this.
Okay. So they go in there. They basically send Arthur in there because Queen Alana's not the right person to get it. Mira definitely can't get it. So it's really just up to Arthur. Mm-hmm. And Arthur walks in.
Swims in.
Arthur walks in, sees the Kraken. Surprisingly about the Kraken, who do you think voiced it?
I have zero idea. Don't even ask me that, but I have zero idea.
You ever seen Princess Diary?
Yeah.
The grandma.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
They did some weird shit to her voice, but that's
her. Yeah. Wow.
Isn't she Mary Poppins too from back in the day?
Hell if I know.
Which, shout out to Mary Poppins Return.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Aquaman destroyed all your box office. And you know what's also? Aquaman destroyed Bumblebee, Mary Poppins, and Spider-Verse. Yeah. Spider-Verse is not making money at all.
I mean, it still did good. It's just not. It would have done better had Aquaman not been there. But yeah, I get it. Yeah,
no, it's not making a profit. I'm dead ass serious.
Okay.
It's like it's making money, but it's not making what it should.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Okay.
No, you mean what? You know what I meant? Like they're not even in the black yet.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
It's kind of a flop, but hopefully it does real good in
DVD sales or something, or international.
Yeah, international. Hopefully international picks it up, but they've been liking Aquaman too. So who knew Aquaman would be the juggernaut? Everyone's like Spider-Verse gonna kill it, Bumblebee gonna kill it.
I don't think Spider-Verse is gonna kill it only because people don't take animated movies too seriously these days anyway.
I don't know. But Coco killed Justice League.
I don't think Coco killed Justice League.
It
you know what? Then again, you know what? You know more about the numbers than I do. I don't really pay attention to numbers. I just go to the movie and go home. But okay, I'll take your word for it.
But I think what it was is that Aquaman had a lot of hype around it. Plus, it actually had good not critic reviews, but user reviews. Mm-hmm. So ended up making more. I thought Bumblebee would be the biggest problem. And then people was like, I don't give a fuck about.
Only because this is the 6th or 7th movie in the franchise now. I think there's a weird fatigue that Transformers is having right now.
I think that's what happened with Spider-Man too, though. People are like,
well, see, it's because Spider-Man got rebooted 3 times. Not rebooted 3 times, but rebooted twice technically outside of the original run. Yeah. So I'm like, Andy Garfield had 2 movies. Tom Holland's about to have his 2nd movie and was in Civil War and Infinity War. And, I can't really speak on his numbers because obviously I don't know that kind of stuff, but I think there is a fatigue that's definitely possible. The only reason I say not really for Tom Holland is only because he has essentially the MCU behind it. The first 2 Spider-Man didn't have the MCU behind it, but this one definitely does. Yeah. And
Homecoming made a lot, but they expected it to make more too. So the fatigue is showing, but people are still going because of the MCU standing behind it. But yeah, Aquaman killed it at the box office. And the scene with the Kraken was interesting. He tried to fight it, didn't work. So he was like, you know what, I'm gonna be honest.
And it's not even that the thing is fast. I think it's hits hard as a bitch, apparently.
Yeah.
It's big.
It's basically gluttony.
Yeah, pretty much. And we don't even see its face. We just saw the tentacles for the longest time.
Yeah, we don't see his face until the battle.
Yeah.
That thing is big. Yeah. So, basically they're fighting. Well, they're not. He's trying to fight. It's not working. So he's like, look, I don't deserve this. But I gotta stand up for the people I love and everyone. I gotta fight for everyone. I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, and it goes back to the speech that they gave him in the trailer. You see, what's better
than a king, a
hero?
Yeah.
Oh, like flowing. And then somehow he takes the trident because the Kraken's like, you deserve this. He takes the trident and then he takes the dead man's clothes.
Yep.
And Aquaman's suit. What do you think of his suit?
I mean, if they essentially did a carbon copy of the old suit and it's not horrible on Jason Momoa. We could already tell from the trailer, and I was like, okay, I'm sold. I didn't think there was a way that they could have ruined it. Like, it came down to very like specifics. Like, they made it very like armor looking instead of like a suit, like a wetsuit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely made it look more like armor. Like, the scales would like look like hard as like some kind of metal or something like that. And I was like, okay, this looks good, and it goes with the trident as well, because the trident is all golden and shit.
That pause is funny.
Wow, you're being childish.
I'm sorry, the pause is funny. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Immature ass podcast. But yeah, I don't know. I'm perfectly okay with the suit.
Even though isn't his? Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong suit, but I thought his original suit was more like orange on the top.
But yeah, it's more orange on the top.
The one in the movie's like yellow.
Yeah, I think the one in the movie was orange. I think it's more like orange gold, if anything. But I don't think like it was yellow.
It looked like a gold, like yellow. I don't see a hint of orange, but it still looks cool. They got the pants and everything else. But I was just like, it's close, but not there. And like, I think they made it look armor, but I think the suit is probably not actually armor.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
So he got a suit and they're ready to fight. Orm, meanwhile in Ormland, he kills the Fish King and tells the daughter, yo, you better have your troops right there, because... And she's like, all right, you got it,
all right, bet. I ain't trying to get impaled too, dog, bet.
He impaled the father and cut him in half. And I was just like...
He didn't cut him in half.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He did this and...
Okay, I don't remember him being in half. I just remember him, like, bleeding out. But okay, I thought go ahead for that.
He cut him, like, right in the middle. And when he pulled it out,
okay.
It was like...
Wow.
Yup.
She can be immature, but I can't, fine.
Hey, you called me out, so I'm calling you.
Yeah, whatever.
So he kills Fish King. So he got the Fish King army behind him. Now they have to take the Brine. I think that's the name. Brine.
Brine, B-R-I-N-E. Yep.
Yeah. And they're crab people. Which, Jesus, Atlan, what the fuck? So they become crab people, but they got a massive army. So he needs basically the Crab King to agree so he can finally go to the surface. So they're fighting, doing this thing, and then Aquaman shows up with not only the Kraken, but the trench.
Right.
And fucking shit up. And this big old fight happens. And
super CGI right here.
I mean, it has to.
I know. But it looks good. My thing is, I'm pretty okay with the CGI in this movie. Underwater explosions. For some reason, sharks making noise is a thing. Like they growl or some shit. I don't know what that was, but I was okay with it. All the Atlantean like tanks or like the crab people's like cannons or whatever. I'm like, oh, this actually looks dope.
Yeah, and the explosion was also cool about the explosions. It looks like what an explosion would look like
underwater, right?
Yeah, so that was also cool. And so, like, a bunch of fights, Mirror, Arthur, everyone's kicking ass. And basically, Mirror's like, whoa, too many casualties. Let's just go after Orm. We don't got time to fight all these people. Because a lot of people did. Arthur killed a lot of people.
Even her dad was like, yo, he got the trident. That's probably the new king.
Yeah.
Orm hearing it. He's like, nah, I'll kill him with the trident. I don't give a shit. Because, you know, he feel cool because he got a new mask on looking like he does in the comic books.
Yep, that Ocean Master costume, solid.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's a good one, too.
Yep, keeping everything.
A lot of, like, comic book accuracy. From Mira to Arthur, everyone was really good on that. So basically, we end up at the final fight. Orm versus Arthur. What do you think?
It's essentially, like, okay, here's my thing. Arthur was never trained underwater to fight. So he was kind of in Orm's domain when he first fought him. Now they're on top of like a floating ship above the war when everyone's out here watching and seeing who the new king about to be. And now, you know, he shows, on land, you know, I think that's why he had like a better advantage up there. That, and he used a technique that Volko had kicked his ass with like a way back, which, wow, this guy probably spent like a good 15 years not practicing and somehow managed to get it right.
It's a trident.
Plot armor is what I call it, but I'm okay with that. But yeah, the trident, like, he essentially, like, mollywops the shit out of Orm. It looks cool because like there's waves and lightning in the background and shit. All the sea people are watching and shit, and I'm like, yo, this looks dope. Orm legitimately thinks he can still win, and Aquaman shows like, yo, not that got this trident, and like, you know, the actual will to be a king. This round 2 not about to be like round 1, homie. I'm about to step on you and shish kebab the shit out of you with this this new shiny fork. So that's essentially what happens. He looks cool doing it.
Disrespectful. How you call it a fork?
It's not a fork. I tried it. It's a really big ass fork.
You can't eat with that.
If you're big enough, you can.
No.
Look how she's falling for all of this. Like, she's gonna keep going back and forth. But yeah, he does an excellent job. He beats him in the same way that he got his mom's trident broken.
Yep.
And then he smashes that bitch in half. And he's like, dog.
And then like he points it at his neck, and he's like, "Yo, I'm not gonna kill you." In my there's also the debate that he should have killed Orm.
Well, he's technically a terrorist. Like, he went ahead and killed one king, tried to kill another, and did like a reckless takeover of all Atlantean kingdoms.
Yeah, I don't like that they kept him alive, but you know, there could be he might be, you know,
useful later on in the DCU or something like that.
Yeah, or they might be saving him for Aquaman 3 because I'll have predictions later. But
there's an Aquaman 2 already.
They already greenlit it.
No, I ain't know that shit.
As much money as should make, you know, DC's like, Plastic Man, we gonna hold off on you.
Right, exactly.
Aquaman 2. But Man of Steel, maybe. If Henry Cavill gets his mind right.
It's his mustache, right?
You know what's funny about that? I watched Justice League and didn't notice.
I didn't notice either. I was like making fun of it because the memes are hilarious.
Yo, especially when they zoom in, I'm like, why the hell I didn't notice? I was sitting like right there. But
so I'm confused. He didn't shave it because of Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
They basically said, you know, Mission Impossible, look, I think Paramount, who makes that? He was like, no, we need the mustache. So he can't shave it. So they CGI it off.
I think it's because they wanted to separate the Henry Cavill in DC from the Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible. Like, okay, we need something to make you look a little different.
I don't know. That mustache did nothing.
And that movie was technically T'Challa's mom hired Superman to go kill Tom Cruise. Which is a much better synopsis of that movie.
He wasn't supposed to kill him.
Well, not kill him, but like, yeah,
him,
right.
And then he had
keep
his
an
own
eye
shit.
on him, spy on him, should I say? Right.
Yeah, and then he had his own shit on the low.
Right.
But like, no, that mustache was not worth that part. But hey, you know, it's like we paid for the mustache, so.
I mean, my thing is, like you said, I didn't see it the whole time watching Justice League, and I had a fun time watching Justice League. So fuck it.
Exactly. Back to Aquaman. I do agree with people that Orm probably should have got.
I don't think so.
Look, I'm tired of this no kill rule bullshit.
I'm not saying there's no kill rule. Like, clearly he killed people in this movie. People got impaled and shit. So
no, they don't care about civilians. They care about villains and like, you know.
Oh, see, also because the mom was there.
Villains are on
immediately after the fight, the mom showed up and was like, "Hey, son, stop being a dick." And then they're like, "Yo, we'll talk later about this, yo. We want a little
He
chat."
should have got. Because he's just going to come around and do the same shit. He's just going to be a problem. He's like the Joker. Batman should have killed the Joker years ago. Because, like, how many people died because Batman did not kill the Joker? Look what happened to Jason. Okay? Because he did not kill the Joker. So, but it's a thing, you know, heroes don't kill, yada, yada. We'll have an uproar. Zod Part 2. So, basically, Orm lives. No one really dies. Mom... Because, you know, Arthur was like, Thomas was like, I love my woman, I'm right there. But I was thinking to myself, like, damn, you still waiting?
Yeah. This man is...
He about his woman.
Girl, hell yeah.
He kind of pussy whipped, but it's okay.
Listen, y'all can call it pussy whip to whatever y'all want. When your man is down for you, you ain't gonna call it pussy whip, no worries you. Oh, alright.
Okay, but this is 30 years.
Yeah,
30 years.
commitments.
I get... Bruh,
commitments.
No, that is years on years, and you don't even know if she's alive. I get if you like, look, I'll get jail. Like, let's say she locked down in prison. Fine. At least you know she alive. At least you have word from her. He didn't know she alive. He never heard from her again. he know that she probably married to some other dude. He probably thinks that. And he still walking to that door?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I can respect the faith people hold and like a small chance.
I respect it, but that's like...
the small ass chance that something is actually going to go your way. And I'm like,
waited
you know what?
his whole youth for
respect.
No, that just seems extreme. But it's cute. When they were reunited, it was very cute. And then Mirror and Arthur get together too.
Right.
With like a kiss with an explosion. That kiss was actually probably one of the best kisses that they had in DCU. I thought that was a really good kiss. It wasn't like over the top, but it worked. And they did it underwater too, so that's probably why it was pretty good. And the movie's over.
End credit? Well, mid credits, should I say?
Oh yeah, Black Manta's still pissed, and now he brought in Dr. Shin. End credit. He's like, I want to find him. And Dr. Shin is like, I need to prove Atlanteans exist. Even though, here's my thing. You know aliens exist. You know Krypton exists at this point. The public
you know
knows.
Amazonians exist.
Right. Well, they probably denying what Wonder Woman is too.
Not fair. Well, I think at the end of Justice League they should know by now.
Yeah, but they're probably denying that she's an Amazon.
Okay,
they're probably saying she's a metahuman. They're not.
Okay, yeah.
Because they don't know about Themyscira or anything. But, like, at this point, maybe they think, instead of thinking Atlantean, they think he's a metahuman. That's probably what it is. But, like, Dr. Shin is making kind of sense. He's like, Aquaman, hello.
Right.
Like, nigga talks to fish. Apparently, he's the only one besides King Atlan who talks to fish.
Right.
Which is cool. Predictions for Aquaman 2, if there is one. What do you think? What's gonna happen next?
More Black Manta shenanigans. Maybe he'll be the actual main adversary this time. I don't know too many Black Manta storylines to pick from. All I know is the ones I've seen in Young Justice or something like that. So I don't know. I'm still gonna bring in Aqualad or something like that, but I doubt it. I don't know. I actually legitimately don't know. It's kind of up in the air for me.
My predictions are Black Manta gonna kill one of his parents. And that's gonna start shit. I think Black Manta is definitely a villain for part 2 because of the credit scene. Here's what I hope will happen: Black Manta,
or he might join up with the Legion.
Yeah, but I was thinking after Aquaman 2, not before. Black Manta kills one of the parents to get revenge because they're gonna find out who he is. Dr. Shin's probably gonna get got. I don't see him surviving another Aquaman.
I agree. Usually the dorky sciencey guy gets killed off because he knows too much or puts his nose into something shouldn't.
Yeah, I hope he leaves Orm wherever the fuck Orm is. I don't want to see him in the second one, but he probably will be.
And I hope he doesn't become if they use him again, he's still a bad guy because I don't like the idea of him being a good guy if anything. So
I don't want another Loki. Please don't do that.
Yeah, right. Like something like that.
Loki got annoying after the Avengers to me. I was just like, I don't care about you, bro.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Nah, he can go all the way home and stay there. I don't care for him. And then also I want an Easter egg of Aqualad, and then have Black Manta join the Legion if they still go that route. I mean, at that point, then they would have all the moving parts except for Cheetah for Wonder Woman.
Maybe Joker, I guess.
I don't know. The Joker in the DCU, I can't imagine him working with none of them because he's too whoa. He is way too woke. Maybe Birds of Prey. He's like, I lost Harley. Or something like that. I don't know. Something happened. Maybe. He might do it just because he's mad at Batman. He seemed like the type. Allegedly, Batman punched the teeth in. And I think that's it. I want to hint at Aqualad, join at Legion. I want Justice League 2 to be, if we get there, Justice League 2, I want it to be either versus the Legion of Doom, or do it versus the Suicide Squad, and then 3 is Legion of Doom, and then 4 is Darkseid. That's what I mean. It's whatever, I would have loved to do Crisis on Infinite Earth, but we're giving that to the TV universe.
I know. I was really hoping to get that for the movie universe, but they're doing a decent job so far with the Elseworld stuff. I'm hearing. I haven't seen it yet.
But here's my thing. I think it works better for the TV shows because you've had years already talking about the multiverse. You have all that stuff already built up. I think the movies need a Brainiac, a Darkseid, those type of storylines.
A big villain, big villain.
Some crazy shit. You can get away with Elseworld stuff on TV more than you can do movies because the general public is if you watch the Arrowverse, you watch at least 1 or 2 shows. You know, so I think you can get away more with TV than you can do in the movies. That's why I think like that storyline doesn't correlate,
Right.
always. But it would have been cool to see it, but they're not ready. I would love Injustice on the movie. Like, I hope, like, if we ever get
That is one of my new favorite DC storylines, period.
But I don't think they'd be ready.
They're not brave enough to pull it off. Like, I feel like Injustice 1, because of, like, you know, multiple versions of the same hero, that can get a little crowded. Okay, I understand that. But Injustice 2? Man, that story was great. That's like excellent use of Brainiac. What? Oh, my God.
That is a good, you know what that is. But I do think, like, any alternate reality storylines, that need to stay on the TV. Because I don't think mainstream audience can handle that yet.
I'd agree.
That's why you don't do Flashpoint. Don't do Flashpoint for DCEU. Please don't. They're not ready. They're not ready. They don't like anything different, to be honest. But hey,
you see, it would be cool as like a universe reset if, like, say you got all the main stories out of the way for all the DC characters. Let's say Darkseid appears. You know, that's the whole storyline finishes. Because we do know that, you know, after the second Justice League, there's all the movies coming out after it. But like, if you really want to like put an end to it and leave like a good cliffhanger for the next section of the DCEU, Phase 2 for them, I guess, you could use Flashpoint to sort of reset everything. See, and that would be cool. Or even like, like you said, Crisis would be a multiple universe thing, but this would be like a multiple timeline kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I guess it would still. That's my opinion anyway. For the DCEU as a whole, use Flashpoint last, but I'm pretty sure they have Cyborg slated last right now. So
yeah, I don't even know what Cyborg. If they got to get more confident in Cyborg. We're gonna get a Blue Beetle movie before we get Cyborg. I'm gonna keep it 100, which I'll be okay. I like to see.
I don't think so. I don't know how they're gonna fit Blue Beetle in. I think it'd be cool if they could, but I don't think they're gonna fit him in.
Here's my thing. I think they're gearing up for Young Justice. I think they're going to move out all these old actors and gear up for Young Justice. That's what I think's gonna happen because they got an old Batman. They don't know what the hell's happening.
Jason Todd is still technically in this universe somewhere, which means Nightwing is in this universe somewhere.
He's supposed to have a movie, so it's like I think they're literally what they're gonna do for the next phase if they want to get rid of all actors. They're gonna go the Young Justice route. So I think eventually we're gonna see Aqualad, we're gonna see Wally, we're gonna see Wonder Girl. You know, we're gonna. I hope. Please.
Superboy, maybe?
Superboy, yes. And then we're going to see Nightwing, you know. So I think that's what they're going to do. If they want to shift the actors out, they're going to get a young version of these characters. And then they can be able to keep the universe black like that. Right. So that's what I would do if you want to phase out your older actors. Go for the young version. Everyone likes Young Justice, which shout out, that's going to come out February something.
I'm ready for that shit.
So, yeah. I think that's it for our predictions. We're on a little tirade, but whatever. I don't care. Hit us up at Twitter, Echo U Podcast. You can find us on most podcasting apps and most social media sites under Echo Underground Podcast. And we'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
See ya.